Yo, my name is Julian Melnick, and welcome back to the Console Gaming Channel. That's right, we are console gamers. We are button mashers and thumbstick thrashers, and we're here to have a great time playing video games, guys. A little different, because we're on the go. And as gamers on the go, we need to protect our stuff, protect our Switches, protect our video games, and what better way to protect it than with a super dope case. Now, friends over at Tomtoc sent me a couple extra cases to go over because I am a huge believer of their product. I love their stuff. I have their first one, so these guys sent me 2 additional cases to look at and give my honest opinion, and boy, do I have some stuff for you guys. These are some awesome cases, but there are some things that you want to take into consideration when purchasing them, so without further ado, let's get into the 3 Tomtoc cases that I would consider for the Switch, and in each one, I'm going to give you what I like, some things that need improvement, and lastly, who is this case for? So, let's crack into the number 1 case, the first case, the one that's my absolute favorite, and that's going to be the Tomtoc Slim case. This case is one that is my daily driver. I use this all the time. It is slim as can be. In fact, it's so slim that it flattens out where there's no Joy-Cons, and then it has little extra bumps for your Joy-Cons for the buttons so that they don't get depressed while they're inside of the case, because there's nothing more depressing than a Switch in a case. Bad joke. Woo, we're having fun here. And then there are 10, not 5 twice, which is 10 spots for Switch games. So if you have 1 game inside your Switch and then 10 outside your Switch, you got 11 physical games. The inside is so soft, so I don't feel bad about putting this in here without any sort of additional protection. I really honestly feel like this thing is perfect when it comes to the materials that it's made out of. It's such a great case. Now, some things that are left to be desired would be just maybe a little strap inside for the Switch to be held in place. It is loosely in here, right? So maybe some elastic bands might be a little bit better to keep it more secure and snug. But because there are those little gutters for your Switch Joy-Cons, it does stay well. So it's not that it's flopping around in here. It's pretty tight, but I would like for a little bit of elastic bands. Now, who is this for? Well, this is for anyone who just needs something to protect your Switch case, and that's it. You don't want to bring any extra controllers with you. You don't have any spot for Joy-Cons. You just want your Switch with you with maybe a few additional games, and you're good to go. And other than that, this thing is great. And now I want to say, before we get into the next case, they use YKK zippers for all of their Switch cases, which is incredible, guys. That's not cheap. These aren't cheap zippers. So let's get into the next case being their travel case. So here, looks the same here. Looks the same here. Doesn't look the same here. So this right here is going to be the case you have if you want to bring some extra things with you. Why? Because it's a thick boy. So what we have in here is we have an additional handle. This handle's pretty nice. I like this handle. And when we crack this thing open, we got ourselves some extra stuff. So not only are there spots for your Switch games, which there are way more spots for your Switch games, there are 2 rows of 6 on one side and 2 rows of 6 on the other. So you can store 24 games. You have an additional flap. And this additional flap allows you to prop your Switch up, and you have a kickstand. So that's kind of nice. I like that. Another thing is there's an additional storage compartment up top. We can see right up here. And in this additional storage compartment, you got yourself a spot for an extra controller. Some of those third-party smaller controllers are going to fit in here. This is more of a spot for like a battery case or some extra cables or something like that. Some things that I wish this case had would be just, I wish there was a zipper for this additional storage case. It's kind of a flap-on-flap situation, so something might be able to fall out of here, and inside there it's just a big pocket. There's no straps or anything, so stuff can flop around. Now, I will say it's really soft, so I'm not worried about anything getting scratched up or anything, but I would like maybe a zipper. And for these 2 flaps here, it's great. A great design. I like the way that you can just create a kickstand. Super, super dope. Like that a lot. And there's a way to secure your Switch in the bottom. Now, who is this for? I would say this is for someone like families, right? Like parents who have the Switch, it's their kid's Switch, they're cruising around. I'm thinking of my 2 little cousins. This would be such a perfect case for them because they can keep a couple extra Joy-Cons in here. They can keep maybe some cables, a battery pack, something like that. And you'd be able to have a good system for kids, right? This is a really, really good option for parents who are holding on to the Switch and they're just keeping it in that backpack or something like that. Or for the gamer who wants to keep a bunch of Joy-Cons on them, this is a really, really good option. Now, let's get into the last option. And before we do that, guys, if you guys are finding value in this video, please go ahead and like it. That'd be great. If you want to be a part of this community and I've earned your trust, only if I've earned it, please consider subscribing. I'm not usually in the middle of the road, but I figured why not? We're going to be out and about today. There's cars everywhere, and we're having some fun. And last but certainly not least, share this with a gamer, share this with a friend, and go check out Tomtoc. They've been so kind to allow us to use these cases and to have these cases and to look into them. So, without further ado, let's get into the last case. And that last case is the Tomtoc storage case. This thing is what I call the tournament on the go. It is massive. This thing is, well, it has a strap that you can kind of carry it on you, but it can hold so much stuff, and I really, really like this. And this has become my non-use gaming gear box. I put everything I want in this thing. It is huge. It has a spot for so many game cartridges, as well as a spot, and I'm not going to show you on camera because I have some B-roll of it, for your dock, for the cables, for the power adapter, for your Joy-Cons attached to the Joy-Con grip for 4 Joy-Con shoulder sliders, for a Nintendo Switch Pro controller, I say that on purpose like that, and lastly for your Switch. And the reason why I said the Nintendo Switch Pro controller is because this thing does not fit my favorite 8-bit Do controller. The hand parts or the handles stick up too far. So this fits the Pro controller perfectly. In fact, this was designed specifically for that. This thing fits all that great. And then there's a top flap for your additional cables, whether it's HDMI, maybe another controller, or 2, or 3, or 4, or anything like that. There's an additional top compartment. This thing is great. The reason why I said it's your tournament on the go is if you ever want to set up somewhere random like a coffee shop with a big flat panel and you want to host a Mario Kart tournament, this is going to do your job. It'll fit everything but that flat panel in it. Maybe a flat panel. No, I'm just joking. This thing is great, and what it is really, really good at is organizing the exact things I said. A Switch Pro controller, additional Joy-Cons with a Joy-Con grip, a Nintendo Switch, a power adapter, and the dock itself with a couple extra controllers in the top flap and a bunch of games. Something it is not good at is third-party accessories. Yes, the third-party accessories don't necessarily fit, and this wasn't designed for that kind of versatility. Granted, the foam insert can come completely out, and you can turn this into whatever the heck you want, but that foam insert was there designed for all of those pieces. And it fits great, it feels good, and the foam feels really awesome too, but something that's left to be desired is customization. This thing isn't customizable. If you want to put the items I just told you into this, it is great, but you can't put 2 Switch Pro controllers because, well, the other slot is specifically designed for the Joy-Con with the Joy-Con grips. And that's not anything wrong, it's just the customization is not there, and the card holder, which holds all of the cards, feels a little loose. It is attached by some very, very durable nylon straps, so I'm not worried about it coming out, but it is a little bit loose. And last but certainly not least, the top flap, just like the travel case, does not have a zipper. I like zippers. I like to be able to know that my stuff is secure, and if I was to throw this around, which I feel very comfortable doing, everything is going to be fine. So these are the things that are left to be desired, and as I said before, the specific use cases for this are very, very small, and it is, you want to take all your stuff with you, you're traveling, you don't want to put that into a backpack, or you just want to go over to your friend's house, they don't have a Switch. This is going to do the job. Now the question lies, which one is right for you, and is this the only option to make your gaming experience better? No. In fact, accessories can also increase your gaming experience, and if you'd like to see which accessories to get, go ahead and click this next video. And last, but certainly not least, happy gaming.